Namaskar everyone. I hope you all are doing well and ready to embark on a fascinating journey towards Stepwells of India, ancient marvels of sustainable water management. Lessons from Rani ki Vav and beyond. Imagine a structure so indigenous that it stores water, cools air, and hosts community life, all while standing for 1000 years. Welcome to India's Stepwells, the original sustainable water systems. Today, we will dive into how these inverted temples solved water crisis long before modern tech. So, what are the objectives of this lecture? We will try to understand the historical, engineering, and socio-cultural significance of Indian stepwells. For example, Rani Ki Vav as sustainable water management system. We will also try to compare ancient stepwell system with modern water infrastructure, for example, bore wells and dams, to evaluate sustainability trade-offs. We will also try to analyze the case studies like Rani Ki Vav, Chand Bauri to extract lessons for contemporary water crisis. We will also try to appreciate indigenous knowledge system and advocate for integrating traditional wisdoms like stepwells into modern sustainability practices. So the question is, what are stepwells? Stepwells are also called bowlis, valves, or kunds. These are ancient water harvesting structures that played a critical role in India's arid and semi arid regions. Their geographical significance spans hydrology, urban planning, and cultural ecology. It was like arid zone adaptation built in water scarce regions like Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Karnataka to combat erratic monsoons. And if we talk about the example, Rani Ki Vav in Gujarat tapped into groundwater 30-meter deep. It served as multi-season storage. Stepwells stored water year-round, unlike ponds that dried up. It was also an excellent example of hydrogeological engineering. Recharge systems was like inverted pyramid, design filtered rainwater into aquifers. For example, Chand Bauri in Rajasthan. It also acted as microclimate regulation. Evaporative cooling lowered local temperature by around 5 to 7 degrees Celsius. Passive desert architecture. And if we talk about the trade and pilgrimage networks of it was located along trade routes. For example, Agrasen ki Bauli in Delhi for merchants and spice routes. So, what is its link with sacred geography? It is linked to temple complexes like Puskar Kund for rituals, social and gender equity. It acted like women's spaces. It provided shaded gathering spots for water collection, reducing drudgery. It also acted like community governance. For example, it maintained through caste-based labor system Rajput patronage. So what are the modern lessons for it? It acted like drought resilience. Revived stepwells in Rajasthan, for example, Jaipur's Pannamia now recharge groundwater. It is also recognized by UNESCO. Rani Ki Vav in 2014 and Dada Harir Vav in 2023 recognized as heritage water wisdom. Let's understand with an example of Delhi's stepwells. But Delhi stepwells reduced flooding by 40% when restored, according to 2018 study. So why stepwells matter today? Models show revived stepwells could mitigate urban water scarcity. Sites like Adalaj Bao attract 500K visitors per year, boosting rural economies. So, stepwells were not India's ancient smart cities, blending not only the smart and India's ancient smart cities, it's also blended geography, engineering, and culture. Imagine a time when water scarcity was a challenge, yet communities found a way to store, access, and even celebrate water. Enter stepwells, India's ancient engineering masterpieces that did more than quench thirst, they shaped societies. Now, next time when you see a stepwell, don't think it's just a water tanks. It's a cool retreats, community spaces, and symbol of resilience. Their intricate design reflect India's scientific, cultural, and artistic ingenuity. Even today, these forgotten wonders hold lessons for modern water conservation. Think once, could reviving stepwells help tackle today's water crisis? Let's explore. Here you can see the hydrological data of Chand Bauri, Abhaneri in Rajasthan. Water capacity parameter, it is equivalent to 8 Olympic swimming pools and recharge rate it 40 village wells. 6 degree cooler than surface, it's about the temperature drop. The source is Rajasthan Groundwater Board 2019 study. Look at the data and see how fault line tapping built over a fractured zone in bedrock, enhancing groundwater percolation. Let's understand the engineering brilliance about the stepwells of India. Imagine walking down a beautifully carved staircase where every step takes you closer to a world of cool, life sustaining water, even in the harshest of summers. Stepwells were not just reservoirs, they were masterpieces of science and sustainability. It was a smart water conservation technique. Their deep step design didn't just store water, it minimized evaporation by nearly 70% compared to open ponds. Even when rivers can dry, stepwells tapped into deep groundwater, ensuring water security for entire communities. It is just like a nature's air conditioning. Descending into a step wall was not just about fetching water, it's about experiencing a cool, shaded retreat where temperatures dropped 5 to 10 degrees Celsius below the scorching surface. Look at the visual. The genius? This is gravity fed hydroengineering. Rainwater percolates through sand layers, that is, natural filtration, while the tiered design prevents runoff. In Rajasthan's Chand Bauri, 3,500 steps create a microclimate, cooling air before it hits the water. More than just water tanks, stepwells were lifelines. combining utility, beauty, and sustainability in a way modern engineering can still learn from. Let's understand the architectural marvel of Rani Ki Vav. Let's step back in time to the 11th century, where a queen's love, devotion, and vision created an engineering masterpiece that defied time itself. A monument of love and legacy. Imagine a queen Udaymati not just mourning her husband, King Bhima I, but immortalizing his memory through an extraordinary architectural wonder that is Rani Ki Vav. This is not just a stepwell, it's a palace beneath the earth, a sanctuary where water and art blend seamlessly, a stairway into the past. Picture yourself standing at the top, gazing down at 7 levels of intricately carved steps leading you deep into the earth. Each level revealing mythological sculpture, divine stories, and whispers of history. Beyond beauty, it was a smart water system. But Rani Ki Vav is not just about aesthetics. It's a hydroengineering marvel designed to store, filter, and replenish groundwater while minimizing evaporation. Even in times of drought, it ensured water security, something our modern cities still struggle with. The stepwell that time almost forgot. Now, imagine this entire structure disappearing beneath layers of silt, hidden for centuries until its rediscovery in the 20th century. And yet, despite earthquakes and time's erosion, its design and carving still stands strong, testament to India's ancient engineering brilliance. What if I told you that this centuries old marvel still teaches us lessons about sustainable water management and architectural resilience today? Wouldn't you want to explore how ancient India's wisdom can inspire modern solutions? Think once. Artistic grandeur, bringing Rani Ki Vav to life. Story etched in stone. Imagine stepping into a time capsule where every wall, every pillar, and every step tells a story. One that blends mythology, engineering, and devotion into an architectural masterpiece. It's a kind of a sculpted splendor, a living gallery of the divine. As you descend, you are not just walking down steps, you are stepping into a sacred narrative. Over 800 breathtaking sculptures surround you, depicting celestial beings, divine stories, and the magnificent Daswatara, the 10 incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Every carving has a purpose. Every detail has a hidden meaning. Did you know even water is not just a resource here? It's a divine entity. The entire structure symbolizes the journey of water from the heavens to the earth, reinforcing its sacred role in sustaining life. Beyond beauty, it was a legacy preserved for generations. But Rani Ki Vav is not just an ancient relic, it's a global treasure. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2014, it stands as a timeless example of how ancient civilizations combined sustainability with spirituality. And what is the most astonishing part? Despite centuries buried under silt, its legacy remains intact, whispering stories of devotion, innovation, and resilience to those who listen. So, next time we think about water conservation and urban planning, why not turn to the wisdom of our ancestors? What lessons can Rani Ki Vav teach us today? Now we will see how Rani Ki Vav acted as a community hubs and how it acted as multifunctional use. Stepwells are like the beating heart of land and community. In the scorching silence of a Rajasthani afternoon, the Bauli was more than a well. It was a parliament of whispers. For centuries, stepwells like Chand Bauri were not just water sources, they were pulsing community hubs where geography and humanity intertwined. If we see the land use genius, its multi level designs, the top part, the farmers bartered grain under shaded arcs. And if we talk about the middle part, potter's wheels spun on cool, damp platforms. Now, if we see the deepest tier, silk traders soaked fabrics in mineral rich water to fix dyes. For example, Adalaj Bau's stepped corridors doubled as a spice market for Gujarat's Karwa routes. Let's have a story snippet. Young Leela raced down 1,000 steps, her brass pot clinking. At the water edge, her grandmother taught her to read monsoon predictions in the algae's hue, a skill scripted in no textbook. The original co working spaces. It also acted as conflict resolution space. Village elders mediated disputes on the Mahamandap, that is the central pavilion. It was also a hub of art and education. Traveling bards sang epics of Prithviraj Chauhan to children sketching on wet clay. Here is a fun fact. Rani Ki Vav walls were a stone Instagram. Carving, Carvings taught morality through tales of Nagas, that is serpent deities, and Apsaras, that is celestial dancers. It also acted as gender and crossroads. It was like a women domain. While men tilled fields, the stepwell became a sanctuary of sisterhood, where recipes, lullabies, and rebellions were traded like heirlooms. It is also like a sacred equality. Lower caste laborers and nobles shared water, defying hierarchies under the watch of Devi Saraswati's carved likeness. Let's have story snippet. In 1897, when British pipes drained the Bauli, 300 women, led by Mati Bai, stagged a sit in on its steps until the colonial engineers retreated. The water returned within a moon cycle. Let's see the modern resurrections of Jaipur in 2023. The Pannamia Stepwells now hosts lunar yoga classes. Its acoustics amplifying chants. Delhi's secret, Agrasen ki Baulis. 100 steps are a musician's dream, where sitars echo like monsoon thunder. The call to action is find your nearest stepwell, sit where a queen, a poet, and a potter once shared a single cup of water and listen for their whispers in the stones. Why this matters? Stepwells reminds us that land use is not just about survival, it's about designing spaces where geography nurtures democracy, art, and resistance. Now we will see the decline and modern lessons from it. What were the causes of decline? Britishers labeled them unhygienic. Groundwater pumps replaced communal systems. Imagine a time when stepwells were not just water sources, but vibrant community hubs. Places where people gathered, prayed, and found relief from the scorching sun. Yet today, many stand abandoned. What's happened actually? The downfall, when tradition met modernity. Stepwells thrived for centuries, but their decline was not due to time alone. It was a shift in perception and technology. The colonial misconceptions was also there, seeing them as stagnant pools rather than sustainable water system. Britishers also labeled it as unhygienic. Technology also takes over. The introduction of modern groundwater pumps replaced the need for communal water sharing, making stepwells redundant. Stepwells, once symbols of resilience, were slowly forgotten. Many filled with debris, some lost under growing cities. A new dawn, rediscovering the wisdom of the past. But all is not lost. Across India, people are reviving these marvels, blending heritage with modern use. Neemrana Stepwell in Rajasthan, once abandoned, now a stunning tourist attraction drawing visitors worldwide. Pune's step gardens, inspired by ancient stepwells designed for rainwater harvesting and urban aesthetics. These examples prove that tradition and progress can go hand in hand. Now, the question is, how many more hidden treasures can be restored? If stepwells were once the backbone of water conservation, could they be the solution to modern water scarcity? How can we bring them back to life? Now it's your turn. In 2 minutes, design a stepwell for your area. Think, how would it look? Who would use it? Sketch a stepwell for your campus or neighborhood. Here is the guiding QS. Where would water come from? Either from rain or groundwater? How would it serve the community? Thank you.